Welcome to the Michigan Tribe Podcast. Today we are talking about the story behind $200,000 given back to female entrepreneurs and women business owners in the Jackson County area from Michigan Tribe. So let's dive in.
3, 2, 1.
Talk to me. Welcome to the Michigan Tribe Podcast, where it's just me and you right now.
Hello.
What's up? It's just Alex and Amanda.
It's just us.
Talking about money, and so Alex brought her menopausal money fan that I bought her for Christmas. Did I get that for you for Christmas?
Forrest
I think I did. Forrest did. That's right.
I should have my rich auntie shirt on right now, but I already wore
Yeah.
that, I think, for one podcast.
Alex loves money, and that's really what we're talking about today because we're telling the story about Michigan Tribe giving away, at this point, more than $200,000 since 2019. Is that the first year we gave back?
2020.
We gave money back 2020 for the first time, and
Yeah.
we've given away more than $200,000 since then. So I want to
Yeah.
explain a little bit about what that looked like. Even now, like launching this podcast, the most looked at page on our website is our grant page, which people are very disappointed to find that it's like, we don't do it anymore.
Right.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about how the grants came to be, how much we gave back, what we saw it do for the community, and then also why we don't do it anymore.
Yeah, totally. Let's
we
tell the
don't-
whole story.
We don't give money back anymore. Sorry.
We
people.
just buy fans.
We just buy fans of money. We just give money fans away. That can be our next merch. Let's do our merch.
Actually.
Let's do merch. And then there's like a little Michigan Tribe logo.
Yeah. Oh my God. Excellent idea.
Yeah.
Excellent
It's
idea.
a really good idea.
Excellent.
If ever I can get Alex committing to do merch with me, then it's a win because
It is
merch
hard,
was a
y'all.
terrible.
Merch is hard.
Yeah.
Maybe we can
Retail
talk
is
about
a
that a
no-go.
little bit.
So first of all, I'm actually really curious if you remember, because Michigan Tribe started in 2019 with a collection of kind of business friends. We
Yep.
told that story in the cult episode about how that came to be and eventually got opened up to the public. And that's when you started to get involved, and you got involved because you came to a Michigan Tribe meeting, the
Yeah,
first one we ever
one.
had.
Yeah.
You came to support me because I was having like a 3-day worth panic attack.
Yes.
But you also came because you were considering taking photography, which you were taking of like flowers and landscapes and some people at that point, I think.
Yes.
I don't
definitely
remember.
Some people, friends.
And you were thinking about doing that into a business.
Yep.
I think right after that is when I asked you to join the
Yes.
official team.
Yes. And
Why?
you asked me because we
I
had
know-
made money.
Yes. Okay. So we sold tickets to the event. And I was like, I don't want to take this money for me because that feels weird because there's a group of us doing it. I also feel like this isn't like a business I'm interested in. What should I do with the money? But I don't remember you immediately saying, let's give it back.
No,
I just
it
remember
didn't
you
happen
came in to like
immediately.
manage it for us because there was
Yes.
no one in the crew that was good with money.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And during that time, there were like 6 of us that were part of the leader group, trying to figure out where we were taking this.
Yeah.
Because we weren't really sure. We remember when we had conversations around possibly doing like women in manufacturing and supporting
my
that
gosh, that's
industry.
crazy.
Because
Yeah.
we weren't really sure, like, what are we doing? We were just
And
gathering
the early
women.
crew really wanted to do merch and expand to other cities, and they wanted to I would say one of the reasons why I asked you to join the team is because they essentially wanted to spend the money that we had.
Yeah.
And I had known enough about business to say like buying t-shirts ain't where it's at. Like if we really want to make an impact, I think we really have to be wise with the small patch of money, which was like a few $100s from an event.
Yeah.
And you came and you were like, we're not buying things,
Yes.
I think. If I remember correctly.
I definitely
you were like,
did
no.
my
You were like, no, we're not
my
spending
budgeting,
money.
My budgeting.
Yeah.
Well, I think, if I think back to that time, I think they really wanted it to be like a boutique kind of networking
Yeah.
type of thing. They really wanted it to be the meetups that were pretty aesthetically pleasing to look at, right?
Yeah.
Which I
They
don't disagree.
recruited like florists to come and
Yes.
decorate.
Yes.
Everything was about like interior decorating for the event and the pictures taken at it.
Yes.
It made for very lovely events. And then we were like, we're not going to change anything about this
Yes.
space. We're just going to sell tickets and like come talk to us.
Yes. And they also, I feel like, weren't vibing with where we were possibly taking it, which
Yeah.
was that women in manufacturing route, which obviously we never went down. We
Yeah.
were just, and they decided, hey, this isn't for us.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do this anymore. Which made sense, right?
Yeah.
It made sense to us of why they weren't doing it anymore.
And then it did allow you and I, it's kind of coming back, it did allow you and I to have that conversation like, what are we going to do with the money?
Right.
And I remember you pretty quickly saying, let's give it back. I don't remember there being like a long gap.
No, I think it was honestly the next meeting.
Yeah.
The next meeting. I've always been somebody that has wanted to give money back, and obviously you can't do that unless you have a pot of money just sitting there that you don't need, and you want to be, you want to be do what's right for your community. I think, I just thought this is a chance. It might be a small number, but this is a chance for us to make a small impact,
And that was also the phase. Do you remember, I was thinking about this earlier, when we still didn't really know where we were going with it, and Mindy Bradishorta, she was running the chamber at the time, and she brought this collection of like ultra power.
She did.
Like I fangirled a little bit about the
too.
people who were in the room who she brought together for us, and we went to the chamber and we sat in the boardroom and we talked to them about what we were thinking for Michigan Tribe, and they gave us advice.
Who was in that room? I forget.
There were a collection of people. So there was someone from Consumers, but she was in the engineering team. She's no longer at Consumers, and she's no longer here. There was someone who ran an insurance agency. The person who runs the community foundation was there.
This is coming back to me now.
Yeah, there were a couple more people too, and now I'm forgetting who it was. But yeah, we had like 6 women there giving advice, and I don't think we knew yet we wanted to give money back.
No,
we were still pondering.
This is kind of funny because if you think about it, we were kind of doing customer discovery.
Oh, 100%.
Because I interviewed Anita at DEP. Anita, what's up? Thank you. She gave me great feedback. Kim Gomez.
I forgot about that.
Kimmy G, what's up? Also gave us feedback.
Yeah.
So we were really doing customer discovery, asking women leaders in our community, what's needed? What's missing?
Yeah.
What's not happening right now that
Do you
needs to
remember
happen?
what main advice they gave us at that chamber boardroom meeting? Because I remember a couple things, but I don't remember like predominantly what we walked away with.
Oh, I remember what Anita and Kimmy G told me.
Really?
Yeah. The things they both said to me and to you, we're a different breed.
Yeah.
We're not the same
Oh,
as
yeah.
everybody
Kimmy G,
else.
I remember that specifically.
And Anita too.
Yeah.
And they were like, so what we're looking for is
Yeah.
a place where we can actually talk to other people who are playing the same ball game.
Yeah.
And that's when we started being like, the masterminding,
Yep.
the getting together with other small businesses, that community. That's when we really started being like, okay, let's just focus on that then. Let's focus on the masterminding part of it, which can you tell the people what masterminding is? Because
getting advice from other people doing it too. Right. And so masterminding at Michigan Tribe goes like this. We sit around together and say, what are you working on? What's the project? What's the goal? What's the thing you're trying to overcome? What are you working on? And we take that kind of accomplishment that we want to get to, that goal we want to achieve, that obstacle we want to overcome, and we put it inside of a sentence. So it's what can I do with what I do have to? And then you enter that goal, that thing you want to do. If there's a deadline to the goal, you put the date at the end. So what can I do with what I do have to accomplish X by Z? And then what we do is we have some pretty firm rules.
Mm-hmm.
So first and foremost, the person who asked the question, shut the F up. That's like, shut up, stop talking. Because we waste all that time and space filling the explanation. And like, if I have a question to answer for you, like I have 20 years of business experience at this point. How old am I? Yeah, I have 20 years of business experience at this point. So like, if I have questions, I'll ask them. Shut up and let me give you 20 years of experience and my advice to you. Yep. You don't have to use it, but like, shut up, please.
Yep.
So we tell people like, shut up. Once you ask the question, you don't get to speak.
And for how long? I forget. We do it 5 minutes?
It depends on how big the group is. So I tried to always do 5 to 7 minutes, but it really just depended. Sometimes our groups were smaller and we could do a little bit more. We broke out into small groups and then it gave like 10 minutes per person. But you stop talking. The only time you can speak is when you don't understand what they said or you didn't hear them. So if they use a term like some software or something that you're like, I don't even know that word. Can you explain for a second to me what you mean? Then you can speak, but that's it. The second role is you write everything down. So there are no bad ideas. You just write them down. If someone's like, well, you could post on Facebook and you're like, that's dumb. I don't care. Just write it down. You don't have to do it. You just write it down. Cause the goal is to not, is to kind of get all the surface level ideas out there that we all try. Cause we all kind of revolve around the same initial solutions. they're in all the books, they're in all the conversations, they're on all the posts, they're the generic things that are supposed to work but never do.
Yep.
We want to get past those. And what I'm really looking for as kind of the facilitator of the conversation is some silence to happen. That usually means people are digging deeper. They're getting more creative. They're thinking about unique scenarios for this person, things they've never tried that they're like, I don't know, maybe that'd work for this person. The things that maybe they tried once, but it didn't work out for them, but it might work on this business, right? That's what I'm always looking for. Yeah. And so those are really the two main rules during the masterminding process is the person asking the question doesn't speak anymore. You write everything down. There are no bad ideas. And then really the third piece of masterminding is once the time is up, I ask the person who asked the question, which one sparked for you? Mm-hmm. Like which one really? And if you've listened to the cult episode, you would know that can become a dangerous question when put inside of a cult-like group. But in this scenario, it's a harmless question, right? It's a helpful question because you can look at a list of what can I do with what I do have to open my brick and mortar by December 2026. And I can look at that list of questions and be like, I could walk into a bank and ask them starting right now if I need to, get a loan in November to buy the space. What do I need to do between now and then? I could do that, right? If that is the one that's sparking for you. Or I could ask the family to, help me with a down payment. I could do that. I could work this job like Tanya Worthy did, third shift, and I could save the money. I could do those things. So, you look at the list of possibilities that came up and you don't have to explain to anybody why the things don't spark for you. You just have to be honest with yourself and the other people in the room. Which one sparks for you? It's it. And then my fourth rule that no one follows, and I always say okay, you do you, but I say delete the rest or permanent market them out so you can't see them because it's not a to-do list, it's a could-do list. And what makes us all unique as business owners and successful in our own unique way and what makes us not waste time and not spend 24 hours trying to build the business is by really honoring the things that might work for us. You can ask the question again and you can do other things again. So that's the masterminding process, and we really dove into that because it made those Anita's and Mindy's and Kimmy's, those conversations, those women sat at those tables and answered for you. Right. And it made for really helpful conversations.
Yeah, and not just for the person you're masterminding for. I mean,
everybody else.
You might be scared you might come to a Michigan Tribe event and might be scared to talk, but are you walking away with some pretty stellar ideas?
Because everybody that's asking questions, everybody that's answering, all the ideas are relevant for so many more people in the room. Exactly. They were always so helpful. Exactly. And so that was the thing that we decided to dive all in on. And somehow in doing an event or two more, we said, what are we doing with the money now? Because we're selling more tickets.
Well, and I think too, COVID. Yeah. I mean, we had been doing it for a year at that point because Michigan Tribe started February of 2019. Yep. COVID hit March of 2020. That's when we decided, because...
No, you're missing a huge part of the story. Pre-COVID, we were planning a fundraiser to give this money back.
Yeah, which we did talk about in our first episode, Adult Prom.
Because, that's how Yvette and Tanya became such significant parts of our story because we decided to give money back at that point, but in order to do it, we wanted to give away a bigger chunk.
That's right.
And we only were making $150. We were making less than $500 each event, depending how many people came and how much
roughly
we charged for it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I was I think it was 300. I don't know. This is why you're on the team. And we were okay, that's great, but this is going to take us a long time. So we planned an event.
That's right.
Where we got a sponsor to cover event costs, and then we were going to sell tickets. To make money.
And we were in the middle
of selling tickets. And we were in the middle of it because our goal was to give between $5,000 and $10,000 back.
And the event was planned for April 2020.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and the point of the event was to be our primary fundraiser.
That's right. We even did radio commercials.
Yes, and thanks be to COVID. I'm not saying COVID was a good thing, but it changed the trajectory and got us away from events. Yvette and Tanya have since decided to do massive events. It's so much better suited for them. For us, it made us almost hate the organization right away.
It was hard.
It was
a
so
lot of
hard.
planning because it was going to be a huge event. I mean, think about if you've ever been to the Jackson Black Excellence, it was going to be an event of that.
And they do
Can
it
you
so much
imagine
better.
you and I?
No, they do it so much better
They
than
do
we
it
do.
so much better.
Please keep on the event trends, ladies, because it ain't for us. Like the customer service angle. Do you remember the complaints we'd get about ticket prices?
Oh my gosh,
The people who were coming to the event, like what they were talking about, we were just like, this is not fun for us. Like this is so not fun.
Right.
And so the event got canceled. So what we did,
That's right.
so True Community Credit Union took a chance on us. And they sponsored that event.
Yep.
And we had to have a very scary moment for us where we were like, do we have to give them that money back? Because they sponsored an event that's not going to happen. So the first thing we did was postpone the event twice.
Yep.
And then we were like, we're not doing an event.
This isn't happening. They're not going to let us
So
gather.
we reached out to True and said, we can give the money back. But what the event was for is this. And if you still want to support that, we'll just use what you gave us as a sponsorship as our first grant
micro
dollars.
grants. Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Yeah, and that is so right, because at the time I was at the enterprise group and I was doing all of those COVID grants. And what I noticed and I talked to you about is how many businesses could not provide a financial statement for us to review. I mean, it was unprecedented. I mean, I'm talking businesses that have been in business for years here in town.
They did not know their numbers. They didn't understand financial statements.
And so then what we did was we partnered with Daniel. Remember you and Daniel Mahoney got
when he was the NAACP president?
Yes.
Or he was he had a leadership position with the NAACP.
Yes, and we decided to do a prepare for funding
this is like
course.
memory lane.
I know
this
it
is crazy
because we were like, okay, we can give money away, but we have to prepare them.
Also, we decided very early on it wasn't enough to just give money away.
Right.
But it was a lot of good advice, mostly from Sean Priestley, who's been on the podcast, because she had told us when you were doing all those grants and then we had first started to get involved with Sean, she had told us what she knew about Jackson was that the level of education about business ownership
was very low.
And financials in business ownership was lower than the average in the other communities she was serving. And we were like, well, that ain't gonna fly.
Right.
So what we did is in order to apply to a Michigan Tribe grant, we provided a 4-week financial course.
Oh, was it that long? I thought it was one class.
No, we changed that after like year 3.
Oh, wow. Okay, I do know.
We had 4 weeks.
Wow.
We had 4 weeks of class where you would come every single week. And it was,
What?
I know.
I don't remember this part. I thought it was like a weekend class with Sheila.
We changed it to that.
From True.
We changed it to that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
it
was 4 weeks.
And then it was Sheila Troxel.
Yeah.
What's up, Sheilas?
Yeah, Sheila.
Sheila.
Sheila and Sheila T. We had a 4-week course when it was with the NAACP. We partnered up to do this financial workshop to make sure people knew their numbers and prepared for the grant opportunity. We walked them through the process, and then we had our first ever grant application, which your kind of experience in grants at that point dictated what we were going to ask and what we were not going to ask.
Right.
And we also, what's important to note is that we took very seriously finding the window where funding didn't exist.
Exactly.
Because there were a lot of funding opportunities at that time because of COVID.
Yes, and we wanted to make sure and fill the gap of micro funding. So for our smaller based businesses that didn't need the 5,000, 10,000. And remember, even the PPP was out. You could, if you were a small business, you could get your payroll protection. You could get that money back.
Yeah.
So we were like, where is it that we could fill? And really what we wanted to do was help women businesses start, grow, or maintain their business with a micro grant.
And there was Michigan Women Forward starting around $5,000 with more active grants in the area than, what they've always done, but they were pretty active around the $5,000 to $10,000 range.
Yep.
We also saw people providing $10,000 to $20,000 grant opportunities because we were still teetering between going into manufacturing, and Lean Rocket Lab was doing that. And so we opted to do anything up to $2,000. Was like kind of the window that we were like, this is going to be our sweet spot. If you need money to buy a camera to make a legitimate photography business, if you need a couple $1,000s to market online or build a website for the first time, if you need to pay for a portion of the project or just get you over the hump, we even made sure, because with micro grants, the opportunity we had is that you could apply for funds for daycare costs so that you could have time as a woman to, if you work from home or you're starting your business out of your house, if you need care for your child so you could actually start your business, we allowed things like that.
Yeah, so we were different in that way because a lot of the grants at the time were all operational.
Yeah.
A lot of them, you had to show a loss of where you needed the money. For us, we were like, we just want to know your story.
Yeah.
We want to know your story and we want to see your finances.
Yeah.
So we know if you're making good decisions or not, right? And
yeah.
And I think that we filled that gap.
We did.
Well.
How much did we give away the first year?
It was like $7,600. It was like 7,000 something that we gave away the first year.
And when we gave the money away, we had a big party. And is that when community business showers
Yes.
were a thing?
Yes.
So Alex and I had always wanted to be a mom, but I wanted to be a solo mom. Like I wanted to do it alone. And Alex never wanted to be a mom. She was like, that's the worst thing I could do.
Never wanted that.
Yeah, never wanted it. And we both just felt like we were going down not traditional paths in life. And we saw kind of everybody get celebrated for these different milestones in their life. So you graduate high school, you graduate college, you get engaged, you get married, and you have a baby. And there's these like big celebrations. And when you have a baby, for example, you're given, like we're having a baby shower from one of our friends here soon, right? And, you give them everything they need to be successful. To say like, hey, we know this is a big lift and this is a big change. Let me bring you items or advice or inspirational things and just support to say like, I want to help make sure you get off on the right foot here. Yep. And so we saw one random social media post about a business shower. And
we
were
gonna
like,
latch onto that.
We
right
were
away.
like, that's brilliant. And so we gave away $7,600 during a community business shower where people could nominate their friends' businesses or their parents' businesses or themselves to say, I'm launching a business. I'm 1 year or younger. And I think that this person deserves some attention. And people showed up. Do you remember so many things?
Legit, like baby
Carloads.
shower amounts of stuff.
That first business shower was our best.
That first one was insane. I mean, they got like free headshots, gift cards for like interview or clothes.
Fox 47 interviews.
Yeah, Fox 47. I mean, it was amazing.
They had financial advice from True and from, remember those like True gave them some like financial something, and then consumers gave them books.
Yeah.
And charging stations. Do you remember that?
It was a great event.
Was it, oh my gosh, some financial advisor gave like.
Oh, Ben from
Edward Jones. Edward Jones, yes, gave like, 5 steps to making sure you're secure and planning for retirement even as a small business owner. People brought books. Our mom brought candles with like little inspirational notes. People brought so much stuff.
Yeah, that was a hit. That
was such a good event. We had good business showers, but our first from a gift perspective was like exactly what we meant.
Yeah.
But we also hit the pavement pretty hard to make that happen.
Yeah, baby businesses. Like all those baby businesses.
I know.
Oh
and then we gave away $7,600.
Yes, on top of that.
Yes. And so before we gave away money, we set a couple of goals for Michigan Tribe overall. And one of them was to give away money more every year than we gave the year before. Yep. And so we had a thing where we would do the business shower in October.
Yep.
And in November, we would do a planning session.
Yep.
And we would set goals. And I think the next year we said we wanted to give away 10,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we gave away 13.
And we gave away 13. Yeah. And then we always had Silent December where we're like,
we need
peace
a break.
out, we need a break. Yeah. And then we started up again.
Planning takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, and we had a lot of different
fundraising,
themed events at that time, and we were doing a lot of
shout out to True Community Credit Union because they gave to that
fund
micro grant fund every single year.
Yeah,
every single year.
Yeah, they did, and they increased their gift.
Yes,
they increased their gift because our commitment increased.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we gave away $7,600 the first year, $13,000 the second year. But then where do we go from there?
I think we went. Man, I used to have this memorized.
Yeah.
I think we went up to 21. Then we went 25. Then we went 35.
Yep.
I think that's how it went. And then last year in partnership with Lean and Rocket Lab, we did over 100. We did like 130.
Right.
So between the pitch competition and the grant round.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so I'm curious, do you remember how our grants changed? Like the actual practical side of the application? Because as the amounts increased, so did our expectations of applicants.
Yeah.
So one of the things we did is we did still expect them to do the financial education workshop, but it did change to a 3-hour session.
And I feel like we made that optional at the
Yeah.
end. Like in the beginning, we were like, if you want to apply, you have to mandatory come to this.
Yeah.
But
and
I
we
feel
saw
like
people, their education rose.
Yeah.
Like the applicants were very different.
yes.
By year 3, it was like people knew their stuff.
Yep.
And
I
their
think we
pitches
did our
were
job.
great.
We did a good job with that. And also, I want to mention that Amanda and I never chose the winners.
Yeah.
We were never responsible, and we didn't want.
We didn't
that
want to. That was way too hard to
It was
pick our
hard
one
'cause we're
friend over the
friends.
other friend, and like that was
And
complicated.
we become friends with a lot of the girls
Yeah.
that would apply. And so we put together a review committee, an excellent review committee. We wanted them to remain anonymous so that they weren't getting harassed
Yep.
if somebody didn't get money. But man, did they do a good job. They did a
Yeah.
great job. We had a review scorecard. We had, so professionally,
Yeah,
I
they
felt
did
like
great.
feel like done to get to a good decision. on
Yeah, it
who
was always
gets
a very
money.
diverse, inclusive group of female entrepreneurs and
Yes.
women business owners in the local area, and those conversations were always very
Candid.
empowering. But they were also, I think for me it was like. It was the conversation in so many ways that, I'm a part of in so many other board meetings or committees or things like that. But it was just looking around the table and just seeing that it was all women entrepreneurs. It was like, I don't know why people are so afraid of bringing us all together.
Right.
Like, do they think we're going to make emotional and terrible decisions? Because
I
like,
know.
it just was
I-
all
right?
so professional and
And good raw conversation too.
such good conversations, counting people out who they were like, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
like they
Here's
know
what
the
I know
community.
about them.
Yeah, and they
Like,
know the community.
Yeah, here's what I know that should not be included because that
Right.
business XYZ or
Right.
they were sticklers to our rules.
They
The
were.
businesses had to be
They were.
51% owned by a woman on paper, legally owned by a woman, and they counted best friends out, and we had to tell women they didn't own their business.
Right. Because a lot of people did that to us.
A lot of people
thought
didn't
that we
know.
weren't going to look on Lara. We weren't going to look at the county clerk DBA records.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to do
And
that.
we went and looked, and it was
Yeah.
a husband's name on the business or not their name on a business. And sometimes we were the first people to tell them they didn't own their business. Like,
Right.
those were hard conversations.
Right.
So we wanted to take the position of being friends in those conversations and not being an informant
Right.
who was like, I've decided you're not getting money. It was like, girl, you got to get this together so next year you
Yes.
can apply. Let me help you figure that out. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure. And I wouldn't have done it any other way.
yeah, they did
honestly.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, so eventually we gave away more than $200,000, but in that process, so between giving away $25,000 and $35,000, we made the decision it was our last year of giving.
Yes.
Why did you choose that? Like, why was that for you the right move?
I feel like, I feel so grateful that during that time I was hired by the Lean Rocket Lab. And I was hired by the Lean Rocket Lab because they got a major grant, which is
Yeah.
the Small Business Support Hub, which came with it a major direct grant fund pool. And for me, knowing how much money was going to be deployed out into the Tri-County area, meaning Jackson, Lenawee, and Hillsdale, I felt like for us, there was no need for that anymore.
Yeah.
And what we also started noticing is the same people were reapplying year after year. Same businesses were reapplying to our micro
Yeah.
grant fund. And that tells me and tells you
Yeah.
there's not a need for money there. This is just like an open
Yeah.
hand that people are at, which I don't blame anybody for doing.
Yeah.
Your small business and entrepreneurship is hard. I don't blame people for going after free money. But when you start seeing the same people come up over and over again, that's a tell sign that it's time to do something different.
And one of the conversations we had, and very candidly, people might not like hearing this, but we saw that COVID changed that mental state
Yeah.
amongst entrepreneurs and business owners in Jackson, that it made it a very open door policy for grants. So more grants became available, so it became the norm to apply for them. And we were part of that culture, and we're really, really grateful that we got to give away money.
Yep.
And at the same time, we didn't want to continue going down a path where we didn't teach business owners how to sustain themselves without grants. And we just found that the part of the organization that was doing its job still was the community part in so many ways.
Yeah.
And the part that kind of was starting to take a different direction, and we started to be a little bit more concerned about the actual sustainability of businesses, was the giving money away part.
Yep.
And seeing that business owners maybe were opting for grants rather than learning how to save for their next growth moment or for their next thing that they wanted to buy because they needed a new cooler for the restaurant, or they needed a new, van for their catering company or something like that.
Yeah.
They started opting to be like, what grants can I pay for? And they really we didn't see them consistently looking at all of the options.
Absolutely.
And we intended to always be a bridge.
Right. And I think COVID made that happen.
Yeah.
With how much free money was floating around. So, I mean, still to this day, when I do intakes with people and their need is funding, the first thing that they say is what grants are available. 5-6 years ago, that never would have been the first question. The first question was, what are my lending options?
Yeah.
And I think it's our responsibility as people who help businesses grow and succeed is to let them know when they need to be able to take that risk of taking on some traditional lending or whatever it is, but not the grant route. I mean, at some point, you have to have a critical friend that tells you you need to be going in a different direction.
Yeah.
Right? And so, unfortunately, that had to be us.
Yeah, but also the important thing you said is there was other grant funds available. And we also, it was actually interesting. So we started to question whether or not we were going to give grants away. And we were pretty open with our funders about that. Do you remember? We went to them and expressed that. And some of those funders were like, good for you. Because we were like, we don't want to ask you for money.
Right.
And here's why. But we just want to let you know why we're not asking for money. Because that might change. And,
we don't want you to not fund us.
Yeah, the horizon could change. And we might have another moment where we need to fund female entrepreneurs and women business owners in this area. So we just want to make sure we're transparent about what's ahead. And we started to explore other options, like what's next for Michigan Tribe. And we actually got some advice that was like, if you don't know the future of Michigan Tribe, that's concerning. We'll fill in the gaps later.
Yeah,
But I think about it regularly because I think I have become so certain that people are unwilling to let organizations change, that they are committed to keeping them even when they're not needed anymore.
That's actually interesting that you say that.
And we
How
weren't.
did I forget about this?
We weren't sure if we were going to keep Michigan Tribe alive as a whole because we decided to take a gap year and be like, let's think about it because we don't know the answer and we're not going to force something. We're not going to ask people to fund a nonprofit when we don't even know what we need money for. We're not going to do that. We're going to see what comes up next. And some of the people's feedback to us was like, that's concerning to me if you're not planning to be a legacy organization. And we were like, okay, that's fine. Like,
I guess we just do what we want.
Because if we aren't needed, why would we? Anyways,
exactly.
I think about it on a regular basis.
I think that's so responsible. It's so responsible of us to ask that question.
So responsible of us.
And such good stewards of the community's money.
I know.
Why would? Okay.
And I think about it regularly. Like, I work in a nonprofit, you work in a nonprofit. We support a lot of nonprofits in town. We have good partnerships with different organizations. I think about it regularly, like in my day job, where I go, am I certain this organization is still needed? Have we met our mission? And the answer for me in my day job is our mission has not yet been met. We've got so much more to do and so many more things. And at that time for Michigan Tribe, our mission was to provide events and funds for female entrepreneurs and women business owners in Jackson County, Michigan. That was our mission.
And what we were noticing with the events is people weren't wanting to come to events anymore.
Right.
So during COVID, we had to be on Zoom. So then everybody was hungry. 2022, 2023, hungry
back
to get into person, which we saw. We saw that. But then 2024
and our event numbers went from it's so easy to sell out to it's so difficult to get anyone to buy
6 people
tickets.
in the room.
Yeah.
And we started noticing that. And we were we started being like,
yeah.
We noticed it at the lab.
Yeah.
And I noticed it other places. And then we started to be like, where can we get the message out to more people? And that's when we started talking about the podcast.
And we evolved it. Yeah. Well, in my defense, you started talking
That's
about
what I'm saying.
Well, I hear you.
No. Oh, shoot. I was like, we need to get money for this podcast.
Yes. But we didn't.
But we did
had
it.
some money left, and we were able to pay for it. So, like, season 2, TBD. But thanks be to Aunt Sue. We might have a sponsor.
Aunt Sue.
Aunt Sue, sponsor of
Season
season 2. But I think for me, that's one of the reasons why I think we enjoy Michigan Tribe so much, because we always allow it to evolve. And we got really great advice when we first started the organization that if it ever feels like you're pushing a boulder up a hill, it's time to let it roll back down and just get out of its way.
Who was that?
Ken and Brandon. But we got really good advice because it never has felt like there have been moments when it's gotten hard to push it up the hill. So we've just stopped and been like, let's take a break and see what's next. And that's why it's been so fun for us to give, money away when we gave money away. Who knows if it's needed again? Like, we're here for it. We've still got connections and the ability to ask for money to serve our girls. Yeah. But we found it really important to not like force people to come to rooms and force people to apply for grants, but instead force people to learn a little bit something.
You know what's funny is I just thought of like
money.
when we were doing like the prepare for funding and we were like trying to figure out how to make like finances fun. And then I put that wig on.
Yes.
The Bob Ross wig that Mark, my husband, had bought for Halloween because he was Bob Ross for Halloween. And then I never took it off afterwards and I started videoing myself.
Yes. Financial Roxanne became Alex's alter ego. She became
You guys go back to the Instagram reels and see some of the Roxy videos.
You didn't actually become Roxanne immediately. You put on that wig and just walked around for a while, and you filmed yourself around your house, and you would send me these very random videos of you like dancing or running around a corner, and you'd be like, hi. And then we decided that you were going to be, Financial Roxanne.
Yeah, and then we went around downtown and our intern at the time, Jordan, had recorded me coming out of like behind a bush and like popping out of a bush and saying like the 3 FICO, like something about FICO
things
scores.
That make, the best ones are just the music ones.
Yeah.
Roxanne.
Yeah, where I'm just looking around.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those
It's
were
my
so
alter
good.
ego.
Maybe we should call Roxy and see if she like wants to come.
Yeah, you want me to call her?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Do you think your alter ego is,
Roxy. Hey, are you busy? All right, come on over. We're at Uncharted. What's the address?
I don't know. Just tell her to find it.
Is it on South Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay, run here. We'll see you in a few. Bye.
So I'm just curious if there's, like one major thing you learned about giving money away to entrepreneurs, like anything you really learned, and maybe from a benefits and downfalls perspective, what would those, things be that you learned through that process? I mean, $200,000 is a lot of money we gave back to the community. So what did you learn?
I think for a business that's just starting out, maybe we're talking to 0 to 1 or even 1 to 3. I think there's so many barriers that you come up against that funding can help you with during those years, those really like early, like, guess you could say like toddler years of growing up, that I think free money can help you actually get a little bit farther than somebody who doesn't, right? When it comes to like equipment purchases, and if you're really product heavy business, it can really help because there's a lot of money that goes into a product business. Now for service-based businesses, maybe not so much, but they could really help with like just tools like service providers, marketing agencies to help you build a website, things like that. Those things can be expensive. And so I think grant money can help in that way. Where I think it's a downfall is when somebody is not business savvy and they don't understand how business works or how you grow it, and they think relying on free money is going to get them there. Never works, never has. And most of the businesses that have come back to us time and time again and gotten a micro grant maybe a couple times, can you say to yourself, they're full-time? They took it full time. They hired some people, maybe in some cases, but I think sometimes when you rely on that, you can only get so far.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to take the risk. You have to take out, $30,000, $50,000 to get you where you want to go to grow. And sometimes people are they're scared to go there. And so they're constantly going to be in this state of never going anywhere because they're too scared. So I think that's where it hurts.
I think for me, so much of the business ownership game and leadership game is mental. And so The benefit, I would say, more than money, was essentially just telling women that we believed in them and also introducing them to.
Oh,
Roxy. Hi.
I cannot believe I was not invited to this.
Yeah.
You
were. You just got called.
I literally was eating my lunch, which is chips.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I have to put on a headband immediately to look formal.
Yeah.
And
I forgot to warn you.
I was running over here and I was like, I feel left out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Roxy. But you're here now, and
Yeah,
we're just talking about what we learned about giving women money. Like, giving women money, what did you, what's your take on?
Well, what's their FICO score?
I don't know. Do they know?
They should.
Okay.
It's the last messages I left you with.
What's yours?
I left their last messages of FICO. I mean, that's what I talked about.
What's yours, Roxy?
Mine? It's an 850. Actually, no, it's a 900.
I was gonna say, is that as high as it can get? What did you do to get it there?
Well, I miraculously know a lot of people that I pay off debt, and they don't, and they help me. They help me.
You were in debt, Roxy?
Yeah.
What?
I was a little. Don't tell. Is this live?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is live right now.
Yeah.
Don't. You guys, why didn't she tell me?
Sorry, we gave you time to think about.
I am stressed and sweating. Okay.
Where's the money?
Do you
stand?
see one of these curls is off. Look at this.
Well, Roxy, what? What do you want people to know? Like, we're talking a little bit about how money doesn't solve everything. So what do you think people need? Because you're like a believer in money. Like, money is queen to you. So,
I love money.
Yes, you do. You love money. So
Actually, I brought money with me.
you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I can show everyone here, but we can do it later.
Okay.
I'll show you how much money I have.
You just like bring all of your money.
Yeah, I bring it all.
everywhere?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem wise, Roxy. That doesn't seem right. You don't use a bank?
I am the safest person it can be with. Money should find me always.
So do you just trust no one?
I trust nobody. No, I do trust people because I do have to bank.
Yeah. Who do you bank with?
True. True Community Credit Union. Choose the bomb. Truth all the way.
Truth all the way. Oh my gosh. Okay, what?
No, but I don't carry all my money. I only carry some of my money so that I can let people know what's up.
Yeah.
Like if I need to pay somebody off right away,
Pay somebody off. What are you doing?
I can't tell you. Okay? Obviously I'm in big deals running around.
Yeah.
You guys called me, I ran here.
Yeah.
I was
you
in a deal.
sprinted. Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Are you
that's
like
why I
buying
have
a
money.
business or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm buying a business.
Oh, okay. Like what kind of business? What would you buy a business in?
I would buy a laundromat.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because why not? Okay, what about
I don't know.
self-storage?
Are you dealing with quarters?
Self-storage.
Like, is that okay? Why? Why? Why?
Okay.
I need to know if
Okay,
this is
this
backed
is
in
why.
research, Roxy,
Okay, this is
or if
why.
this is just like a random, you're throwing an idea out
Do you
there.
listen to podcasts?
No. I listen to true crime. I listen to Crime Junkie and this one.
So yes, you do.
Okay.
Have you ever heard about the boring businesses? Buy a boring business and it will make you passive income.
No.
That's a laundromat. That's self-storage. That's vending machines.
Ooh, vending
That's-
machines would be fun. What
Yeah.
would you put in a vending machine? I actually had
Wigs
different options
and chips
to change.
and headbands
Just whips.
and money guns.
Chips. How much money could vending machines make us? Like
Not
how
much.
Okay.
We need a lot.
Okay.
We need a lot of vending machines.
Okay. Okay. So you would get into a boring business.
Yeah.
You're probably in a lot of boring businesses.
I am in a lot of boring businesses
you in
because
any-
I am the most fun on all of everything.
Are you in any not boring businesses?
No, I'm in only non-boring. I'm only in boring businesses because I am the fun.
Okay.
I can't compete with fun.
Yeah. That seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Okay, for real.
Okay.
We do need to bring it to a close. I'm sorry you didn't get invited to the whole thing. That's like my bad. I haven't seen you in a while. I kind of forgot you were a thing, but like, what do you want our women to know?
Why is this like looking at me over here?
There's a camera so other people can get to know you and like see you. You'll be able to watch yourself. It just seems like maybe you.
Okay. Okay.
Seems like you might like watching yourself on
Am I?
podcasts. I'll send you the link when it comes out.
Okay.
Yeah. You can share it with other people.
Okay.
Do you have friends?
Do I have friends?
Yeah.
Do I look like I don't have friends?
A little. You seem a little intense, like a lot. Seems, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I have friends. But you haven't called me in like 4 years.
Yeah, I know.
So no,
We're
I don't
not
have
really
any friends.
friends. We're not really friends.
I don't have any friends. Oh my God, my headband. Is my headband okay?
Yeah, it is.
Does it look okay?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. Okay, but what advice would you leave our people with if this is the last time you speak to them? What would you want to make sure they know about money and business ownership?
Only make money.
Really?
Yeah. Don't not make money.
Like at what? At any cost?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if I told you, but my financial learnings have gone really downhill in the last 4 years.
why did you stop like focusing on financial education?
The Great Depression of 2020. 2022.
That's a long depression.
Yeah, you're telling me.
And so, do you feel like your financial life took a tank too, or were you just like so smart with your money that like you're fine?
I
And
was
you're
such a
able to-
planner that it didn't even matter.
God, that's so real.
Yeah, so my advice to everybody, because you asked me,
Yeah.
is now plan,
Yeah.
prepare.
Prepare to be depressed.
Prepare to be depressed. It's
'Cause-
going to happen. It's called entrepreneurship, isolation, depression equals depression
Perimenopause.
equals perimenopause equals the reason why I look the way that I do. Okay?
You look great, Roxy.
I get
You-
Botox.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So
And I also use medical grade face care.
how much does that cost?
It's expensive. I have a lot of money.
Okay. Well, I'm really glad that you do. I haven't listened to all of your advice. I'm going to be very honest with you, but I do feel like I've become financially better because you were in my life
Oh, good.
for a while. Yeah, I'm like definitely better with money. But we've stopped giving money away to female entrepreneurs and women business owners, Roxy.
Why?
Because there is a lot of money available at a state and federal level that's available to the community. So our passion has become really connecting women with those resources rather than being the ones who give the money away. But it sounds like you have a lot of money. If you want to sponsor us, we will take your money. For like, if you want to give us a donation, we would take that.
I do.
We would do something
I
with
do
it.
love women's small business. I do. I love them.
Okay.
I do love them.
Okay.
I do try to support them.
We can talk
Okay.
because there might be an opportunity. We've got a season 2 coming.
Oh, am I on it? Am I part of the group? I'm in, right? I'm like the trio. I'm like, it's like you, Alex, Roxy.
Is that like a
Yes.
part of the donation? Like,
That is the donation. The
Requirement?
donation is me. Roxy is the donator. Physical self. Do you
well,
accept it or do you not?
I don't. But thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that you sprinted
Dear.
over. And maybe we could do like a micro series of the podcast that has you in it. I really, really appreciate you coming and rushing over. And I would love, Roxy, if you brought us to a close, like, tell everybody, where to find you.
Where to find me?
Yeah.
I'm in a black hole in Jackson somewhere that will probably never come out again unless they call me for the podcast season 2. That's the only way I'm coming out of the hole, okay? But other than that, subscribe to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Get on there so you can get another podcast episode and hopefully money.
Talk to me.